Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalised keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewellery, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB, or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You can even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewellery? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewellery Workshops. Vale Jewellery Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewellery. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248. Right, ladies and gentlemen, when you listen to Creative Space Podcast, Pippa and I always sit down and talk about our love for theatre, television, films, etc., etc. Now, mentioning theatre, to us, it's home to us. Mm-hmm. Wherever we lay our costumes in the change rooms, that is our home for a week, 2 weeks, or beyond.
Yes.
What we don't expect is the audience to betray us in such a way that we lose the passion. Mm-hmm. Do you want to take over now? Do you want to take over? Or? And at this moment in time as well, I've actually listened to a very good song, right, called "Walking in Memphis" by Marcone, because it's such a beautiful song. It calmed me down.
It is a good song. It is a really good song. But the thing is, we need to get back into that angry mindset, because every time I think of it, and especially with what's happened recently, semi-recently.
Yeah. Well, listen here. Well, before we carry on, with this podcast, I release the episode or episodes once at the beginning of the month, and then again at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So you got 2 for the best going in and out of the month.
Yeah.
And so this happened a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, yes.
So, do you want me to explain or shall I?
You crack on, dear.
Did you hear what I said? Do you want me to explain or shall I? Should you? Sorry.
I mean, you can still crack on.
Right, so back in, I say a few weeks ago, at one of the theatres in Manchester, I heard.
Yes.
They were doing a production of The Bodyguard. I've never seen the musical.
I've never seen the musical.
But I am aware of the film. I've seen the film. I'm aware of the music that is put into the musical. And, of course, one of the songs is sung by Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You."
Yes.
Now, as much as we are all big Whitney Houston fans, we are big musical theatre fans, once you go into a theatre, these are the rules that you need to abide by. Get your phone out and turn it off. Put it in your pocket, sit there, watch the musical at its finest with your mouth shut.
Unless you're eating.
unless you're eating. And by all means, please just eat very, very quietly.
Yeah, please,
or please try to eat. I know it's not in control over people. This is not me trying to be rude or nothing, guys. I know some of you who listen to this are big avid theatre fans, and you do this. You abide by the rules. Unfortunately, there is, I don't even want to call it a minority no more. There is actually a lot of people that do this, and I can't fathom why.
Yeah. It's... Look, I know that people are... they're seeing certain musicals or certain things that they want to go and see, and you might be a first-time theatre goer. But even as a first-time theatre goer, you're not going to do, well, what we're about to talk about, which is just out of the question.
So what has happened in the musical of The Bodyguard is that people decided to sing I Will Always Love You over the person who is playing the part, who is supposed to be singing the character, singing the song on stage, spotlight in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's completely ruined the entire show, and they had to cancel it afterwards.
They did completely cancel it.
Yeah, they had to cancel it.
I know they stopped it to escort them out, which, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were drunk, which doesn't help the situation. But I didn't know that they cancelled it after I thought...
Yeah, well, I've seen in the articles and in the on the Twitter, on the tweets and everything, that it's on the Twitter,
on the Twitter,
on the Elon Musk app. So yeah, they were drunk, they were really disruptive, and the people that, in all fairness to the people that quote unquote escorted them out of the venue, they had to do it with force.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, they had to do it with force. But the people that were trying to justify themselves, it's like, no, stop trying to justify your actions. Once you've done wrong, you've done wrong. I'm all for people redeeming themselves by saying, look, I apologize, I will not do it again, I will learn my lesson, I will do better in the future, because that's what the human race is, people.
Yes. We
We all make mistakes, we learn from them, and we move on.
Yeah.
That is the circle of life. That's how we move on and develop as good, decent human beings.
Yeah.
But there are dickheads out there, I'm sorry for swearing, people, even though I do swear a lot on this podcast, but there are dickheads out there that feel entitled. I use the word entitled strongly because that is what it is. They feel entitled because I've paid £30 for a ticket, I paid £50, I paid £100, I paid this much. Yeah, but you're not the one who goes into the auditions, stands there in front of the producers and the directors who are looking at you with blank stares, not knowing what they are thinking about you, not knowing if you're good enough for the part or whatever. You are given the part not even out of 10 people, but hundreds and thousands of other people who would die for the part. They would rehearse 3 to 6 to 9 months, right, to get it right, go on stage and then perform it in front of thousands and thousands of people, millions of people on end, to have dickheads ruin it. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it's... The reason why I've kept it for so long is because I thought I would just move on from this, and Pippa as well. We thought we'd move on from it and just forget about it, because at the end of the day, I always say, it is what it is. But no, I can't sit back. There's some things, I mean, I always try and stay out of quote-unquote political issues because I'm not familiar with stuff that I am not passionate about. But when I am passionate about something, people, I will speak up and defend it with my honour. And one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about is theatre etiquette. And there was another thing as well. Whoever wrote that article on What's on Stage, saying, is the word theatre etiquette still relevant? Should it be sent away, never to be said again? Fuck off. I'm sorry, no, but do one. I'm at the end of the day, you're saying it's an old phrase or saying, but I've read that What's on Stage article, and they're saying, should we still use the word theatre etiquette? Yes, because at the end of the day, it is the principles, it is the simple facts of respecting and abiding by the laws of theatre, because it's respectable and everyone wants to have a good time with theatre. Pippa, take over for a minute. Oh,
I was just about to say, breathe, god damn it.
Sorry, take over.
But it's true though. I mean, who... You've literally all said it all. I've got nothing else to say now.
Yeah.
But,
podcast over, people. Have a nice day.
I know. But it's, this isn't the first time that this has happened. It's the first time that I've probably seen that it's been dealt with. The amount of times that I've seen people complaining on Facebook groups and stuff, because I'm in one particular Facebook group, and I have no idea how many times I see people complaining, going, I have to put it somewhere because I'm just feeling so frustrated, that they pay X amount of money for a ticket. Now, some ticket prices can be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, astronomical prices.
Astronomical prices, just for, not even front row seats, just like sitting right smack bang in the middle of the stalls. They're still over like 150 quid if you're lucky. And they're like, I went to see X show today. And somebody right at the back was singing the songs, or was, speaking it word for word, because some people have seen it hundreds of times. And you're like, there are supposed to be theatre people who stand at the back.
Ushers.
Ushers. Thank you. That's what their job is.
Yeah. And you've got to feel sorry for them sometimes, because they're volunteers most of the time. They're not even paid to do...
Yeah, because I was an usher at one point. I did volunteering for St. David's Hall, which was fantastic. And luckily, most of the old biddies who go to these things, they haven't even got a mobile phone, so we're fine. But you will find that the younger generation, they want to film it and they want to put it on social media.
It's not even the younger generation, it's the middle-aged people as well that they're tending to do it.
Well, the younger generation want to film it and put it on social media. The middle generation want to sing along and then take pictures and also post it on social media. And then the older generations, they just want to,
have a good time.
But then when you say that you're in the wrong, all hell breaks loose. And then they're talking about their rights, and it's my right to do what I want because I've paid X amount of money, but you're ruining somebody else's experience who has also paid money. And sometimes people have paid more money than you, so you need to sit down.
Yeah. And shut up.
Yeah, sit down, shut up, and watch the film. But the thing is that we need to figure out when it's okay to cheer and when it's okay not to cheer. Now, I will use this as an example. I recently went to see The King and I.
Well, in the new theatre in Cardiff.
In the new theatre in Cardiff. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Now, I was blessed to go and see it when it came to the WMC way back when. And seeing the two shows, right, there was one big difference. And the biggest difference is... Do you know The King and I?
I know the story. I've seen the Yul Brynner film. I don't know if it's still similar in...
It's...
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know the story.
Yeah, it's basically that. But when they do Shall We Dance?
Oh, who doesn't?
Exactly. And in the stage show, they make it a big thing because it is a big thing. And so as soon as they start dancing, people started clapping and cheering because it's, it is like the iconic thing from The King and I.
And the productions know it, so they...
And the productions know it.
Yeah, and they probably intentionally try to get the audience, we want the audience to be off their seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first saw it in the WMC, as soon as that scene came up and they started dancing, everyone, people weren't cheering, but they were, clapping along in time with the music because it's an iconic scene. Now, when I saw it in the new theatre, because it was after this situation with the Bodyguard, nobody clapped. It was like it was just dead. And I was in my seat and I was ready to clap along, but I didn't want to be that person that
break the silence.
To break the silence. But I know that at the same time, if one person starts clapping, everyone else will start clapping.
Yeah, it's the domino effect.
It is the domino effect. But at the same time, I didn't want to start clapping just for people to like turn around at me and like give me the death glare. Because of theatre etiquette. Yeah. But I know that, that there are certain things where you can cheer.
Yeah.
And the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a whole element to itself. Yeah. We're not really going to talk about
And
that.
A lot of people try to compare it with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. A lot of people say, well, how come... they always say, how come the Rocky Horror Picture Show allows you to do it when you can't do it? Because you've got to learn what musical you're watching, though. Mm-hmm. It's the type of musicals that you're watching. There's a book over there that I've got of musicals, and it's not even the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? I went to see Mamma Mia, right, at the new theatre.
Nice.
I went to see the new theatre. I went to the new theatre. Lisa Taylor, bless her heart, she did this competition, and it was for like a Christmas competition with billboards and that. Yes. And Michaela Virgil won the tickets, right? But her and I and me and Emily were actually battling out for these prizes. Uh-huh. And in all fairness to Michaela, her and her husband didn't want to go and watch it, so she gave it to us. But we were right at the far back, at the top, right in the gods, in the balcony, at the furthest back.
Yeah.
But we saw everything.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. The songs were amazing. And the thing about that musical, because everyone knows it's an ABBA-based musical, all the songs are ABBA, people will tend to join in. And I've heard people sing along to it. And guess what? None of the cast and crew, even the orchestra, did not care, because they knew this is the type of musical that people should join along.
Yes.
And even at the very end, right, it was absolutely beautiful. The setting, the colours and everything. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Even at the very end, the leading characters, the leading performers all turned around and said, come on, join in.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, way, like that. Because that type of musical, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, they encourage you to join in.
Yeah.
It's its own experience, because obviously I've never been to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have. Oh my Lord.
So before, right, let's lay that down.
Okay.
Right? You go in, you're allowed to dress up.
Yes.
Right? As whatever character you want, maybe from the Rocky Horror Show or maybe from whatever, right? And it's very immersive in some ways. Mm-hmm. It breaks the fourth wall a lot, I've been told.
Yes.
Because Emily has said to me that it really encourages you to be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You are the ensemble, chorus.
They encourage you to heckle the narrator. You've seen the film, yeah?
Yeah, I've seen the film.
Yeah. You've got the narrator at the beginning. So he comes onto the stage at certain points of the show, and they actively encourage you to like heckle him or them or she or her or whoever is playing the narrator. They actively try to encourage you to start shouting and stuff like that. And every time, because it was a whole experience the first time I went to see it, because I've seen traditional stuff, and then of course I knew that you could dress up, so I did go dress up the first time. And so you sit down, and then it all starts, and then it gets to the first time. Every time the narrator mentions Brad or Janet.
Damn it!
Brad. I can't remember what they call Brad, but I know that every time he mentions Janet, you shout slut.
Yeah.
I really can't remember what they call Brad, but I sat there horrified, because you just don't see that in a musical.
Yeah.
In a when you go to see a musical, you are sat down and you watch the show. If you want to sing along, you mouth the words, but you don't make a sound. When it came to the time warp, the house lights came up, and they actively were like, if you don't, it's okay if you don't stand up and dance along, but
It's just a jump to the left.
Exactly, with a step to the right.
Put your hands on your hips.
Put your hands on your hands. Is that what you said?
I said hips. I didn't say hands on my hands. Leave me alone. Put your hands on your hips.
It's all right. It's the it's the time warp. It's fine. It's fine.
Let's do the time warp
Again.
Oh. Have you heard of Jack Black's version of that?
I saw that. It was wonderful.
Oh my god, Jack Black.
Jack Black is a legend.
Wait, we're going off topic, but it's Jack Black. Anyway, yeah, that's the whole point. It lets you in.
Yeah.
It lets you in, and that is beautiful.
It is. It's so nice.
And I want to know how they got to that point. What changed to let them? Because I bet you at first they didn't encourage it back then. I don't know. Because when they first started, obviously Tim Curry was the original Frankenfurter. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a musical historian. I know a bit, but I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So did they encourage him back then when it first started?
Well, it must have been when it had the cult following.
Probably from the film.
Yeah, because obviously the film didn't do so well when it first came out, and then just all of a sudden it clicked, and then it just became a cult classic. Yeah. So when it became the cult classic, and I can't imagine that Richard O'Brien would sit there and go, yeah, when you go to see the musical, you have to stay seated.
No.
It's one of those things where the music makes you want to get up and dance. It makes you want to get up and do stupid shit. Much like Mamma Mia, the jukebox musicals. I don't really know much about the other jukebox musicals.
We Will Rock You but that's the thing. But you got to have an understanding of what you're... And that's the thing, you got to understand the type of audience that you're going to be in.
Yes.
It's like, if I was to go in to watch Sweeney Todd, for example, right? I wouldn't be getting up, singing along, shouting out, worst pies in London. I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be going, oh my God, what the frig? Because that's the intention what Stephen Sondheim was doing.
Yeah.
And I had a big debate with my former supervisor, about this, because she does not like Stephen Sondheim. She does not like his music and everything.
Why?
I was like, why? And she was like, oh, I can't remember what it. It's like, oh, he insists upon himself. He makes it difficult, and it's like, oh my God, get away, just get away, just go away, just be gone.
I love his music.
I love his music, especially Into the Woods. That got nominated for a few more Tony Awards.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got nominated for a few more.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And I love Into the Woods.
Into the Woods is great.
So, but this is what I mean, though. I mean, I can understand if it's difficult to the point where with jukebox musicals, sometimes they do encourage you, sometimes they don't. But I wouldn't be surprised that they would let you join in, because at jukebox musicals, I mean, it says a jukebox. It's like all the other people are saying, this isn't a karaoke.
Yes.
And I respect that. It's not a karaoke. I know it's tempting to sing the songs, but there's a guideline. There's a fine line between being welcomed into the world of that world of show that you're going to watch.
Yeah.
But then there isn't. I mean, it's like a lot of people. Do you know what one person tried to justify saying?
What?
There was one person on Facebook saying, yeah, but when I go to watch a show in around Christmas time, I've always been introduced. And I was like, I had to oblige by commenting, what show was that? And he went, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I went, was this a pantomime? Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that is absolutely different to watching a musical.
Oh, for God's sake.
You are encouraged to join in. That's what they do. That's where the traditional pantomime jokes come in. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is.
He's behind you.
Oh, no, he isn't. Yes,
yes, he is.
Come on, boys and girls. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Don't compare pantomimes to musicals, because a pantomime, as I said before, is a different concept.
It's okay. Deep breaths. But I mean, you wouldn't dream of going to Annie. You go in to see Annie, and then you start singing along to
It's
Tomorrow.
a hard night. Yeah. But then again, I have actually seen it done. They have encouraged people to join in.
See, now, if it's indicated, like the Rocky Horror, when the floor lights come up, if it's indicated that you can sing along or that you can get up and dance, sure, fine. But stereotypically, when you go to see a show, you sit and you watch it. If you want to sing along, you wait until you get back into your car.
Turn on the radio.
Turn on the radio. Turn on the disc.
Spotify.
Showing my age there. You turn on the disc.
No, you can still turn on the discs and everything. I mean.
Yeah, and then you sing along. If you really, really want to, mouth the words in your seat.
Yeah.
But make it silent.
Because I've watched loads of documentaries of musicals and they've always said exactly the same thing. Stephen Sondheim said it. Andrew Lloyd Webber said it. God, that was a good clip.
Yeah,
I think I picked that up on the thing. Stephen Schwartz said it, the guy who wrote Wicked. Mm-hmm. I bet they all said exactly the same thing. We want people to leave the theatre singing the songs.
Yes.
But there is a similarity, a pattern there. Mm. What have they said? To leave the theatre singing the songs. Leaving. Going. Yeah,
yes. Not during.
No. And we've experienced. I mean, this is where I'm getting a bit worried now. I'm not doing a musical. I have told you I'm doing a one-man play.
Yes.
In August and September and October time. Tickets will be out soon. Probably, potentially when this podcast is out, the tickets will be out soon.
Okay, nice.
So potentially, I don't know yet because we're recording this podcast in early May.
Yes.
So this may come out late May, early June. So the tickets will be out then.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing a one-man play about a footballer called Fred Keano, who won the FA Cup with Cardiff City in 1927. It's the only FA Cup they've won, right, in their history. I know you're not a football fan, but I bet you know what the FA Cup is. It is literally the most prestigious football trophy in British football history, or English football history. Yes. There's the Premier League, obviously, which is the league title, and then you got the FA Cup. That is the prestigious cup to win. Cardiff were the first and only team out of England to win it. And the story is about Fred Keano and his life journey of reaching that FA Cup win. How he became the captain, how he conquered all expectations. He fought at the Battle of Somme in World War I. Got shot, told that he would never play football again, and still goes on. That's his life story. I'm playing the character. And it's a one-man play. Now, this puts me on edge. Nothing the fact that I got to learn tons and tons of lines, but the fact that what happens if someone decides to go, way, like that, and I'm on my own on stage. Because again, theatre etiquette.
Because I know that sometimes, I mean, with you doing the one-man play, you have the choice of either acknowledging that, if you can lean it into what you're talking about, you can probably incorporate that into it.
Well,
but at the same time, if it's during like
an emotional scene,
an emotional scene or scene that you can't really bring it into what you're talking about, you're gonna have to ignore it. But there again, like, I want to know what goes through people's brains when they think about heckling, shows specifically like. Like the one-man play, or
plays that are straight up dramatic.
Yeah.
Nothing comedic about it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if someone goes to see The Woman in Black, and then when they're behind the two men, someone goes, "She's behind you."
Yeah.
They would be immediately escorted.
Yeah.
It's escorted out. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just, like, why?
I've been to see The Woman in Black twice. Once in London, once in the new theatre in Cardiff.
Same.
Yeah.
I love it.
The London version, absolutely 100% shat me pants. I was sat against a wall and I still looked behind myself. I don't know why. There was a wall behind me and I still had to look behind. That's how effective it was.
Mate, I was in the front row because I went to school.
Oh my God. Yeah, but
She looked into my non-existent soul. It was terrifying.
Yeah, I went with Barry Boys and I remember leaving the show and Ian Pekenyak and Mr. Hilborn, I just looked at him in the eyes. I was like, you horrible, horrible bastards, you. And yeah, it was phenomenal. Then I went to see it in the new theatre. Mm-hmm. And it was the worst experience of my life.
Really?
Yes.
What? Why?
Because for some weird reason, I do not know who came up with the decision of leaving the lights on.
What?
In a horror play.
Oh my God.
For the sake of health and safety. I'm not being funny, but if you are going to watch a play in a theatre, regardless, turn the lights off.
Or at least dim them to the point of they're not going to be a distraction.
Yeah. But at a horror play? Horror? The audience are going on their own accord. It's not for you to oh my God, I'm losing my speech therapy lessons here. It's nothing for them to worry about. They left the lights on. We saw the woman in black walking through the audience. That's how bad it was.
Oh, that's horrendous.
We literally just turned to our right and went, oh my God, there it is. There she is. My friend, you know Poppy Tremler, don't you?
The name definitely rings. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
We were sat next to each other watching it, and I was up for it because I knew what was happening. I'd seen it before, and Poppy has never seen it before, and there was another couple of friends who have never seen it before, and I'm just laughing my ass off because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But nervous because I thought, oh my God, what are they going to do that's different, right? And Poppy was there going, oh my God, Rhys, I'm so scared. And I'm like, you're going to laugh. I'm going to love this.
Wait until the second act.
Yeah. Kiss your ass goodbye, woman. And yeah, they didn't even turn the lights off. And I was like, oh my God. And in all fairness, it was with Alex and John. Mm-hmm. I remember Alex losing her mind after that show.
Really?
Yeah, because she said, I'm going to ask for a refund. That was absolutely a dreadful experience.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well that can ruin. But again, going on to the topic, you just don't, you wouldn't do that in a.
No.
But I remember a story which got someone into trouble. I don't blame this person to the point, because people react differently, don't they?
Yes.
There was a guy who went to go and watch The Woman in Black with a few family members, I think it was, and unfortunately it was The Woman in Black. And the guy had The Woman in Black. The Woman in Black actually scared the guy to the point where, because she was right next to him, and she scared him that much that he actually went.
Someone.
Oh, look.
No.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's just the fact that he just went, oh, wallop.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, well, that's one way to deal with that.
That is one way to deal with a woman. Jesus. Was she okay?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. At least the makeup could cushion the blow. I don't know. But yeah, I heard it. I don't know if it's a true story or whatever. Like I said, it's a story that I've heard. Yeah. But it's the funniest thing I've ever seen, because I'm not surprised. Because like I said, if you're scared, people react differently. People go, you go boo, and people react in a way like, oh my God, and they run away. But some people actually go, oh, and they fight, because it's an instinct reaction to fight back for some people. Yeah. Yeah. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard. But going on to the theatre etiquette side, there is a boundaries.
Yes.
What the guy did, the whole point of that story is, what he did was theoretically wrong.
Yeah, but you can't.
But you can't blame him.
You can't really blame him. No.
Yeah, because they may have. It's like in some shows there is, like you said, there are boundaries. There are boundaries for what the audience can do and what the performers can do.
Yeah.
Because the performers, I'm surprised. I don't know who. I know it's a famous person who played the Whitney Houston character, but I'm so surprised that she didn't stop the song. Going, stop! What are you doing?
Yeah, it's because. In a professional environment, you're always told to ignore whatever happens.
Unless you're like a big name, a very big name that you're not going to be touched.
Yeah.
You know, it's I've heard stories before, but I've heard stories back in the day, the likes of Richard Burton. Good old Richard Burton. Laurence Olivier.
Yeah.
Peter O'Toole.
Yeah.
Richard Harris, the original Dumbledore. I mean, some of these are hellraisers in some ways. They're big time alkies and everything, but you've got the likes of Al Pacino as well on the stage. You've had probably Marlon Brando, some of the biggest names in theatre. And I've heard, maybe, I don't know which one is point, but sticking to the British performance side, I've heard some stories where they've stopped a Shakespearean performance and gone, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if it was someone like... I don't know much about Richard Burton, because Richard Burton's always maintained that professional standard of just leave it be, sort it out later. But the likes of Richard Harris and Peter O'Toole, them guys, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually stopped the performance and gone, shut up.
Yeah. But unfortunately, unless you have that big name to back you up, you're not going to be able to do that.
No.
You just have to act professionally and just try and ignore it, because even if you put 1 foot out of line to
break that fourth wall.
To break that fourth wall, you will be penalised for that.
Yeah. Blackballed, if be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for example, going back to when I first started doing theatre, I was always told that as soon as you were on stage, you were professional. You are not to wave at your parents. You are not to, do anything out
break character.
Break character, yeah. And I would be penalised, if I broke any of those rules. Keep your hands off your roofa-doofa. Not to put your hands in front of yourself. Yeah. Your hands always had to be either by your side or behind your back, or something like that. Something that wasn't covering your bits. But so there are rules for when you're an actor as well. But those rules should also be there for the audience.
Yeah. There's always a reason when I used to do, every time I do a show, and this is what I'm doing for my show, my play. Because me and my executive producer, Mark, we've had a chat about this, and I said, listen, could you please announce this on the stage? Say, look, phones away, please turn them on silence now. Do not speak, do not anything unless... I didn't say unless you are encouraged.
Yeah.
But it's like, with my play, because it's a football story element to it... I wouldn't mind like a Cardiff City fan, because it's about a Cardiff City player gone, yes, because I made use that, like you said, and gone, yes, we did that. Yeah. Because it brings that, and then maybe in the test of time, when I'm in my 30s, 40s or whatever, and I could be playing that part again, those audience members can know, if we do that at a certain moment, that reaction would come. Yeah. But again, it's trying to find that fine line. But how do you find the fine line? When's it the right moment? And it's simple. You've got to know your musicals. Yeah. You've got to know the plays you're going to watch. Yeah, but even if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, just play it by ear. Yeah. Like if you don't know what you're going to do, more often than not, the safe bet
is to do nothing. And then when you're encouraged, or if someone else starts it and then they start clapping and then the domino effect, you can start clapping, which is fine. But going back to the rules, not the rules, the announcement that you said that you're going to say, even though they have those announcements, in almost every show that I've been to,
there's always one.
Every show that we've been to have had those announcements. Please turn your phones off. Please don't talk. Recording is prohibited, and any photos is prohibited. Picture taking is
prohibited.
It's not allowed. There will always be one or two people.
Not people, just knobheads.
Because, it stresses me out to no end. Now, I can understand in one respect, but because I've been brought up to say rules are rules, so I'll talk about one and then I'll talk about the other.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the one that's not going to make you go off on one, for now.
Oh, damn.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
So there is a dance troupe that my sister Ellie is involved with. And when we go and see the overall shows where they do different dances for what they've been doing throughout the year, at the beginning of the show, they say not to take pictures and not to take videos because of the children. It's child protecting those children because not every child wants to be recorded.
Yeah.
Not every, not the parents normally don't really want their child to be photographed by another person, but people will still do it. And I'm looking at Mum, and Mum looks at me, and we're like, what is the point of these announcements if no one is going to take care of it? And even the ushers do not say anything because they don't want to start an argument, they don't want to start a fight, because everyone is all hush, 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 hush. No one does it. Now I will bring the one that is probably because you were there.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, God.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that they were talking they asked me the question the exact moment when the announcement said, because it was during the latter end of COVID, we still had our masks on.
Mm.
And they turned round to me as the announcement was saying, please can you leave your masks on for the duration of the show, and then when you leave, when you get up and leave, you can take your masks off, but while you're sat down, please keep your masks on. And they turned round to me and you, are we allowed to keep our masks on? Well, if you shut up and listen, they would have said. And they also mentioned about filming and recording. Well, they're the exact same thing, but the pictures and filming being prohibited. What did they do?
Oh, what didn't they do?
What did they do? They recorded the entire opening on Snapchat to send to their friends.
And how many times did you ask them not to do it?
How many times did I? At least twice.
No, 3 times. I counted.
It was 3, wasn't it?
I counted.
But at that point, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because, it's clear that they're not going to listen to us. But because we were so high up in the gods, I don't think there was an usher.
No.
There was an usher when we first came in, but then as soon as the doors closed and the show started, they weren't in.
I remember you asking an usher, though. I remember you saying they're doing this, and I remember an usher did coming down and say, don't do it. I think another problem as well is ushers not fulfilling their responsibilities and fulfilling their duties as an usher. It is to make sure the audience are having a good time, but also not being knobheads. Do you know, we need a tally chart of how many times I'm going to say knobheads on this podcast because it's getting out of hand. But you see what I'm trying to say here is that it's like, I know I said earlier, ushers are majority volunteering.
Yes.
They volunteer. What's in it for them?
To because I can say that from an ex-usher perspective. You go and you do this specifically so you can see a show.
Yeah.
Because I will put my hand up, and I did this. I went and I booked myself in for these shows because I wanted to see them. But I still did my job. But I think the biggest problem is that, now obviously this is just my opinion and my perspective, but when you're not being paid to do something, obviously you want to make your time worthwhile. So the ushers might accidentally be stuck watching the show, and then they forget
what their job is.
And it's to stop all of that recording and stop all of those pictures, because especially with these smart watches now, if a notification goes off on your phone, and then after 30 seconds to a minute, it goes off on your phone, and that just shines in the dark area.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got people recording, which there again, the screen is so bright. It is distracting. Really distracting for the people who are trying to watch it behind you. Like, common courtesy, you know?
Do you think as well it's like a psychological thing that the reason why audiences are not saying anything is because it's not the thinking for themselves, it's that they're thinking for others. Because you're worried that you're going to start an argument, and then it's this whole pandemonium thing of people, and it ruins. Yeah. People are scared to speak up because the fear of ruining the event for others, and
because at the same time, by speaking out, you're also causing sound. So you're also adding
the problem
to that distraction.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if people don't say anything, then these people are going to get away with filming the shows on Snapchat.
And do you know what? Going back into the ushers is as well, and because it's volunteering, and I'm not persecuting you or anyone like that involved, but it's because you've chosen to volunteer. You've chosen, so please fulfill the jobs, not you directly. You know. But would it have made a difference if they were paid? And this is the thing about the Wales Millennium Centre, right? I really like that venue. It's a big venue.
It's a big venue.
You're having, what? Multi-million, billion-pound musicals? It's come to that? Are you charging them? Okay. How much? Hundreds of thousands of pounds? Really? Okay. Where's the money go? Oh, it's going to the... Okay. Why can't you pay the ushers?
See, are the ushers paid in the WMC?
I've heard they volunteer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, now...
So why can't you pay them? Oh, no. Well, it's a charity. No. Here's the thing, right? It would be different if you paid them. Because if you paid them, they do the job.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the way that I personally would try and... solve that problem is by putting a camera right at the very top, and probably one towards
the stalls or something like that. Or...
Yeah, so you got one at the top, one from the stage looking towards the audience, and then one at the very back looking towards the stage. Now you've got all areas covered. If you can see
a light flashing,
earpiece to the ushers if they didn't see it. That way you can also watch the ushers to make sure that they're doing their job, doing their duty. And you can also find out who's trying to see a free show, but also doing their job. If they're not doing their job, then they're just trying to have a free show. But also, the cameras won't be in anybody's way. So they're not going to be seen. Unless they're big, huge, cameras.
Come on, in today's technology, we can make a camera so tiny.
Exactly.
But it can pick up hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you don't want that. I mean, but you want something that's going to be reasonably...
Yeah, you want something to create a live feed where somebody...
In the office
can just watch it. It doesn't have to be watching it 24/7, but like just keep an eye on it every so often, just to make sure.
You can still have a book in the office. You can still be doing something like read a book or something. It's the easiest, and guess what? It's the easiest job in the world.
It really is.
Because all you have to do is just literally look at them and go, okay, I'll go and get myself a cup of tea. You go back, and then the camera will pick it up and go, oh, wait a minute, Simon, can you have a look? Right, I'm watching you. Yeah, come on, mate.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I do it.
Yeah. And...
with as many glasses as I can.
But, there are simple resolutions, which obviously other people haven't thought of.
Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalised keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewellery, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB. Or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 942 48. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewellery? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewellery Workshops. Vale Jewellery Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewellery. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248.
People, please just respect the theatre.
Yeah.
Unless you're Vanessa freaking Feltz.
Yeah, what did they say? Because that's the one thing that I didn't...
Right, it was on This Morning. The show This Morning.
Yeah.
Alison, Hammond, Dermot O'Leary and Vanessa Feltz were in the studio area. Nick Ferrari was calling in from Zoom in the LBC radio station or studio. Nick Ferrari was completely against those kind of behaviour. He was there going, no, it should not happen. It never should happen. Stop being a knobhead. Yeah. Vanessa Feltz just goes and goes, but it's a musical. They should be allowed to sing while eating, scoffing down ice cream. That's the whole point of a musical, is it?
No.
It's like, no. Shut up. No. And Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond, they were reading reviews and comments of what was happening and they were laughing our asses off about it. Now, I watched the whole segment and what I did not agree with in this whole situation was that no offence to Nick Ferrari, he's not a theatre expert. He's not an actor. He's not a stage actor. He's not a stage director. He's not a producer. Even though he stood up for the theatre etiquette.
Yeah.
No offense to him, I wouldn't have had him on my show. On the show, I would have had someone who is.
Yeah.
Whether it be like, I don't know, Andrew Lloyd Webber, or Christopher Biggins, or I know he does pantomimes, but he knows the theatre. He knows the theatre.
Absolutely.
You know, have someone like Alfie Boe. Michael Ball, have someone like them to come on that programme and literally tell Vanessa Feltz, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never been on the stage. You've never had someone heckle you. You have not had someone shining the light directly in your vision because of reasons. Right? And Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond just sat there laughing at the fact that there were people really upset about it. And in all fairness to Alison Hammond, a lot of people, it's like now that Alison Hammond is going to the theatre a lot, right? And Back to the Future released the post, I don't know if it was today or the other day, and said, look who came to visit us behind the scenes is Alison Hammond, but luckily no one was singing there tonight. It's tongue-in-cheek, so it's all forgiven. But what Alison Hammond did, she apologised afterwards, because there was such a backlash.
Yeah.
There was a backlash against Dermot O'Leary, there was a backlash against Alison Hammond, there was a backlash against Vanessa Feltz. And in all fairness, Nick Ferrari wasn't even touched because he backed up the people who want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Right? He said, no, it should never happen. Fair play to you, mate. But Dermot O'Leary, what did he do? It's like, people are taking things out of context of one little tiny clip. People look, have a good Easter. I don't care. He didn't say I don't care, but it's the tone of his quote-unquote statement is like, no, you shouldn't have, you read it completely wrong, get a grip. I'm like, mate, screw you. Go to hell. But in all fairness to Alison Hammond, she said, listen, I'm sorry, that was not my intentions at all. I didn't want to upset people. That wasn't the goal. Listen, I want to learn and better. I thought fair play to you. You know what? You've accepted whether or not you were in the wrong or not. But you apologised. You said, look, I'm sorry. You acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Move on. That's it. Move on.
Yeah.
But then there are people who just want to take it further. Go, you're not sorry. You only said sorry because you were caught out. Or, well, I'm thinking, get a grip. What's she supposed to do? But then again, now she's been announced for the pantomime.
Really?
So yeah. So maybe they'll make a joke of it. And do you know what? If I was there, I'd laugh at that. I'd go, fair enough. Because people are going to forget about that incident. But unfortunately, they're not going to forget of what not to do in a theatre.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your take on...
Fuck Vanessa Feltz as well, you fucking twerp. I'm sorry. I can't stand the woman. I cannot stand her.
Fair.
Don't worry, that'll cut out. That'll be cut out, don't worry.
So what is your take on alcohol being served? Because obviously, when you see the clip, it's very clear that alcohol has had a huge kind of
influence or something.
Influence on those two ladies who screeched like cats and then escorted.
The situation is nothing to do with the theatre, I don't think, because you need to drink a lot in a short period of time when the theatre doors open to when the show starts. You need to guzzle down a lot of alcohol to be intoxicated to go into a theatre show. So I don't think it's the fault of the theatre people selling alcohol. I believe it's the fault of one of the individuals that do come in before, because there's always the pre-drink scenario. There were pubs and restaurants and bars all around the theatre, and it can't be helped by the theatre. It's not their responsibility. You can't turn around and tell the business owner who owns a pub right next door to the theatre, whatever you do, can you not sell alcohol an hour before our show starts? Because that pub landlord is going to respond back by going, no, on your bike.
Yeah.
It's down to the individuals. It's down to the people that are going to the theatre. And now, I'm saying that, how do you assess, because this is where I'm trying to question myself now, because I was thinking about this as you were asking me this question, is how do you, I don't know what the word is, how do you spot someone that has had too much alcohol? A lot of people say, well, yeah, but they stagger into the theatre, or they stagger in. It's like, yeah.
Not always.
But not always. People know how to handle their drink.
Yeah. I mean, I will give an example. My partner, when his father was alive, he passed a couple of years ago, I came home from work one time, and he was really chatty to me, and the father-in-law. And I was just, chatting away, and then I went upstairs, and my partner was really, really aggravated. And I was like, what's the matter with you? Now, his dad was drunk. And I didn't know. Because number one, I didn't know him very well, but also number two, there was nothing about him. There was no smell. There was nothing about him that kind of gave the vibe.
There was no, yeah.
And he said, the only reason why I know is because he's very chatty. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just kind of put that information away. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell if a person, yes, if they stagger a bit, obviously it's a little bit of a telltale sign. If they're slurring their words, that's another little bit of a telltale sign. But those are stereotypical bullet points of being drunk. So, would you not sell alcohol at your show?
Unfortunately, one of the venues is Tiny Rebel.
Ah, right, yeah, okay.
And I can't help that.
No. But, I mean, if you were, for example, in the New Theatre or in the WMC...
If I was in a place like that, my answer would be... No. That is a very brave answer for me to say that. No. What I would do, I would only sell short amounts of alcohol, if you know what I mean. So when people say, oh, can I have a... Because sometimes they ask for a bottle of this.
Yeah.
And spread it out. And some of the glasses, I go, well, no, have a... If it was like a soft drink, well, give them like a proper pint or proper whatever. Yeah, but give them half pints. Like, half a pint of what? Half a pint of wine, half a pint of this. Because... And only give them... And then... Put it this way. If this situation gets out of hand to the point where there's been so many on record, so many alcohol-induced incidents, that we call it.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that.
Let's go with that. That are caused by alcohol. Any incidents like the one in the Bodyguard that were caused by alcohol, then we do need to look back and go, right, we need to clamp down on this, and we need to clamp down on it hard.
Yeah.
And my way of putting it is, I don't want to, like you said, ruin the fun for people and not to have a drink. Everyone's entitled to have a drink. Just know your freaking limits.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to lie to you.
It's not rocket science.
I've never gone to a theatre show and drank alcohol.
I have, but I've only had enough time to have one. But what you do in a theatre when you're waiting to go into the auditorium or whatever, you sit, you chat like we're doing, you got your pint, and you're having a chat. You're talking more than what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Because you go, sip, put it down, chat. I'm looking forward to this, Mandy. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, so-and-so's in this. Yeah. Stop for a minute, have a sip, put your drink down. I've seen it done. Because I'm a nosy bugger. No, I'm that nosy. I can actually tell people's way of communicating and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a difficult one. That is a good question, by the way. It is a good question, but it's a difficult question to answer.
Very, very difficult
because
question.
It's not for another's sake. It's that particular individual or that particular. I'd say the most cause are the maximum of 3 or 4 people, a family.
Yeah.
Right. But if I were in charge of a theatre like the New Theatre, I would only sell half a glass. I wouldn't sell spirits.
Oh, no spirits at all?
I wouldn't sell spirits.
So what alcohol would you...
Lagers, like I would sell, sell wine.
Okay.
A selective... But when it comes to wine that is not got loads of alcohol in it. If you know, do you know that on the back they always say, the
percentage.
The percentage. I go for the lowest percentage where there's not much alcohol in it. There is alcohol in it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
With beers, lagers, I go for the ones that haven't got them. I mean, Coors. I'm not a fan of Coors per se. I drink Madri, but I would go anything that's under 4%. And I give them half. Or, if it's not going to be that bad just for one, then give them a pint. That's how I do it. But then again, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
Yes.
But having said that, I don't know if I've answered your question the way you want me to answer, because to be honest with you, it's a really difficult one. But I don't know if that's...
What I'm trying to... You know, the question going through my mind is, why do you have to have alcohol when you go to the theatre? Does the alcohol enhance the show? No, it doesn't. Does it taste nice? Yeah, sure. But it's not necessary or integral to the experience of going to a theatre. Because as I said to you, I don't think I've ever drunk alcohol when I'm at a theatre. I might have like a cider with my food, just, you know, if I go to a pub or if I go out before going to a theatre. But you would never ever find me buying an alcoholic drink before I go and see a show, because the theatre is not a place that I would put alcohol and show together. Now, annoyingly, the only show that kind of comes to mind where you might get a bit of a giggle is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But even then, I wouldn't even consider having alcohol before I go and see the show, because I would want to be of... I know having 1 or 2 drinks just before you go and see a show isn't going to make you smashed, but I would want to be of sound mind when I go and see a show, because if it's good, or if I know that I'm going to enjoy it, I would like to go home and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, the show was fantastic, you know, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. But I can do all of that without drinking. It's not a requirement to go to the show. Yes, it's nice. Yes, it's a luxury. But it's not necessary. And people and adults shouldn't feel...
obliged.
Yeah, they shouldn't feel like I'm taking something away if alcohol is not there. If you're going and you expect alcohol, why? If you're an alcoholic, that's another kettle of fish. But if you went to the theatre, would you expect alcohol? Would you expect a bar? I mean, I would expect a bar that sells drinks.
I think the whole point of the theatre, I'm not trying to justify it, but I think the whole point of the theatre is that it's an outgoing experience. And when you think of soft drinks like Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper and Sprite and all them types of drinks, they're not necessarily they're not labelled as going out drinks, if you know what I mean. When you're going out, you want to have a proper going out. Let's have a pint of beer. Let me enjoy a pint of beer, because they are considered the quote unquote out drinks. Yeah. I think that's why people do like to have a drink at the theatre, where they, like I said, I'm not trying to justify it. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm also not trying to justify taking away alcohol.
Yeah, because like I said, it's a very difficult topic. Yeah. Where you can't really answer. No one has the answer for that.
No, you can't, because...
Do you get rid of it, and I don't know, when people think that it's decreasing the adventures of going to the theatre less adventurous? Yeah. Or are you doing a good thing and making people realise you don't need it?
Because I know that there will be the people out there and be like, oh, well, you're taking away the, you know...
You're taking away my freedom.
Yeah, you're taking away the ability of me to enjoy a drink when I go and see a show. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not...
knocking it.
I'm not knocking it at all, but I'm just trying to consider the ways of reducing somebody going to see a show drunk and disturbing the show drunk.
Yeah.
Because I know that I know in certain places you can purchase a drink to pick up during the interval. Why?
Put it this way, it's a never-ending circle. It's a catch-22.
It is, yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
How do you solve it? Don't know.
You don't.
Where do you start? Don't know. How do you stop it? Don't know. There could be some harsh bastard saying, stop it all completely. There could be someone going, no, do it this way. You know, the complete opposite to what the harsh person said. Well, where do you start?
Yeah.
It still doesn't answer the question.
You know, and people aren't going to turn around and go, oh, I can't believe you're not selling alcohol. I demand a refund. Can you imagine?
I demand a refund. No, fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If that is the reason, I think the reason, and it should be, if that would be down to the producer. If the producer is very clever enough to say, oh, if people asking for a refund because they can't have an alcohol drink, just turn around and say, no. It's like, I'm sorry, no.
You could have had a refund in 24 hours if you... Because, where was it? I can remember buying tickets and there was a no refund policy. The only way that you could get a refund is if you were in hospital or if you passed away or very extreme circumstances which clearly shows that you wouldn't be able to make it. Only then would you get a refund. And I was like, good. Because lots of people will just go, oh, I couldn't make it, I want a refund. When in actual fact, they forgot about it and they missed it.
Yeah. I've done it.
Really?
Yeah. I missed the chance to meet Graham Norton in the New Theatre.
No.
Because one, I forgot about it. I only realised on the day.
Whoops.
And I was gutted because I love Graham Norton. And I only had and it was, when I realised I only had an hour to get to Cardiff and everything, and this was on a Sunday.
Oh.
So it was like, oh, it is. And I just went, oh, it is what it is. And the thing is, I bought the tickets months and months ago. So it was like, oh, that's gone past me. I'm not going to get the money back. Oh, well.
No. How much were the tickets? Do you remember?
It was like 25 quid. No, I paid £32 because I purchased it with the book.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm not going to get the book.
Oh.
So I'm gutted. But guess what? It's gone to the right person.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Miss Steez. Ugh.
What was that?
No, I block my nose because I go achoo like that sometimes, and yeah, it's a very tricky business that we love to do, but also it's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Unfortunately, with that kind of situation, I don't think we can or you can do or say anything.
No.
Unless you prepare people beforehand, before they book, during the booking process, turn around and go, by the way, no alcohol will be sold during this production.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah, see what happens. But, I mean, as I said to you before, alcohol should not be a make or break situation for you going to the theatre.
No.
You're going to the theatre to see a show. I know.
It's... Well, at least we got it off our chest now.
Yeah.
We got it off our chest.
Yeah.
And we're still going to love it, and I can't wait to go to more shows in the new theatre.
Talking of which, have you seen that they're bringing back Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah. Well, the musical or...
No, not the musical, because the musical's brand new, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's a play.
Oh, yeah.
Sherlock Holmes and the Valley of Fear or something like that.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing another Agatha Christie play.
Ooh,
And
nice.
Then There Were None.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you see the Jekyll and Hyde that's in the new film?
No.
Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalised keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewellery, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB, or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewellery? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewellery Workshops. Vale Jewellery Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewellery. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248.